Say welcome to Ballbox Gun Gun. Do something creepy. Come on.
Welcome to Evident Plaza Medical Center.
What did you say?
Welcome to Evident Plaza Medical Center. Triggered, sir.
Daniel just went to say welcome to Ballbox and Cundagungans, and he said welcome to Evident Plaza Medical Center. Welcome to Ballbox and Cundagungans. What is this?
I don't know. Welcome to another episode
Of Ballbox and Cundagungans. It features 0 frogs.
No, a couple.
No, this is the question and answer thing.
I don't know what we're doing.
This is a special extra episode where we answer your questions.
Poppelbonks and Cundagungans is a combination of Poppelbonk and a Cundagungan, which are 2 frogs.
I guess the question is, like, what is our show?
Oh,
Or is it the name?
I don't know.
Oh, God, we'll do
I
both.
misinterpreted that.
I think you might have misinterpreted it. Poppelbonks and Cundagungans is just a YouTube series where we look for frogs and tick them off Pokemon style. A Poppelbonk is a frog, a Cundagungan is a frog. They both sound funny, so that's the name of the show.
That's it. Through my sister, who was dating John,
Yeah,
and has
since.
also done that for a while.
Yeah. Daniel's my brother-in-law.
Yes, exactly.
I have a tale about this.
Do you?
I like spinning a tale. Well, I like to think. I often tell people the story of why we started frogs in the first place, which is a story I really like. Which is basically that Daniel and I were both living in the same house, and I was playing music for a living, and Daniel was doing like video games design. And we both had this kind of history of liking nature, but weren't doing anything with it. And I knew that Daniel liked nature as well. And I think I just walked into your room and was like, "Hey, do you want to go look at frogs?"
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We just went and looked for frogs, and
Went
then
down to the local creek.
yeah, in
at
the middle
midday.
of the day, we had
It was
no
really
idea.
hot, and we're like, man, let's find the frogs. And there was lots of frogs, lots of little baby cane toads.
Yeah, that's all we found.
And that was sick. That was the best day ever.
Yeah, and then we just kind of kept going from there, and we started finding cooler frogs, and we both
Hanging out
changed.
with cool people who showed us frogs.
Yeah, we met Ben Revel, who was probably like a couple of years ahead of us, and so taught us a lot of stuff about frogs, and a bunch of other awesome people, and it sort of just went from there. And we both changed careers, kind of off the back of that, which is kind of weird. You've now done work with critically endangered frogs and Coomba tops.
Exactly.
But yeah, we changed our careers, and then we just liked frogs a lot, and we decided we'd make a video about it.
Yeah. Latoria chloris, the orange-eyed tree frog, for sure.
That's a really hard question. Whenever someone asks me what my favorite is, I
always say Latoria chloris.
I know you do. My favorite probably changes depending on the one that I'm looking at. I don't know.
Charismatic little things. They make lots of noises. They're pretty easy to find. They can also be really difficult to find. But like just watching the behavior of frogs, it's really quite interesting. If you sit around and watch certain species doing their thing, there's always things going on that you just wouldn't expect. Outside just calling and eating and eating. They're jumping around. They're doing things.
I think I like anything that has a lot of variety within itself. So like the basic form of a frog stays the same, but then there's an incredible amount of morphological variety, lots of different colors, different shapes, different sizes. And I also like the fact that they're a vertebrate that has a larval stage, which I think is super weird. So the tadpole becomes a frog. It's kind of cool. And they go from being herbivorous to carnivorous at that period as well.
Real cool. You got to take them by surprise while they're not looking. Well, it's all about you got to find the frog first, right? So the easiest way is just using eye shine. So having a torch as close to the center of your eyes as possible, you'll see a nice steady eye shine, nothing twinkling, big and bright, depending on the species, and you can pretty much walk directly to a frog and then just take a photo. However you would take a photo, there's so many ways to take a photo.
Yeah, anyone that tells you that there's a right or wrong way to take a photo of a frog doesn't get it, I think, maybe.
Most people just focus on the eye and that's it.
Yeah, and that's probably a good rule for any photography. But ultimately, what Daniel said is spot on. Learn about the frogs, learn about their habitat, learn about their behavior. Same with all wildlife photography. Like, it really has to come from an understanding of the animal. If you don't understand the animal, you're not going to be able to take a good photo. But I guess like a real basic rule for taking any photo is like get on eye level and focus on the eye.
Yep.
Floria Kundagungan.
That's a difficult one. There's so many that I would like to see, and so many that are on my list.
In Australia, should we just keep it to
In Australia,
Australia?
yeah, I mean,
Because-
like, getting over to Southwest Australia would be phenomenal. Imagine stumbling across a corroboree frog. That'll never happen.
I would really like to see Pterodactylus dianus, the Mount Glorious day frog, which went extinct in, I think on Mount Glorious in like 1975. So that's what I would like to see. There's no difference between a frog and a toad because toads are frogs. However, toads are just a member of Buffonidae, which is a family within Rana, which are frogs. So toads are frogs.
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of frog you're taking on a day.
IHOP. I think that my favorite frog encounter was maybe the first time I saw Latoria gracilanta.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just because it was the first time I saw a frog that wasn't just a normal green tree frog, and it was we'd only been really thinking about frogs for a short period of time, and we were in Yamba, and there was a bunch of rain. We went driving, we heard frogs, and there was like Latoria gracilanta, like this tiny, beautiful green frog, and then there were like ornate burrowing frogs as well, which was like amazing. So that was probably still my favorite.
The best experience I had would have been when I was working with national parks up in Queensland looking for Coomba tinker frogs, collecting for Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. Just the day in, day out climbing off into deep gullies looking for female frogs was just such a ridiculous task. And one of the first trips I did there was like the last night we were crawling up and the storm was rolling through and we weren't going to find this frog. And it was just like the last moment Ben Rebel just like flips a rock and finds one. And I was really annoyed because I was going to flip that rock. It could have been me. It wasn't me. And then it absolutely starts pouring and we're not sure if it's a female frog. Yeah, that was just such a fantastic experience. Yeah. Well, if I'm thinking about it, it's got to be something.
It's crucifix toad. It's crucifix frog.
Got those little long dangly things.
It uses luring. It uses toe luring.
Mm-hmm.
It acts as a little worm so that little insects try and come and eat that, and then it eats them. So yeah, gross question, but there is an
Easy
answer.
Yeah.
I think ribbit's just a colloquialism, isn't it, of like the sound? Like every culture has a different call. Daniel's really good at frog sound. Latoria cerulean. Latoria pearsoniana. Floria Kundagungan. Mixophias fasciolatus.
Iteratus.
Flat eye.
Can't do that one.
Peony. You did cane toad before, let's hear it again. Can you do emerald spotted? That'd be good. Crinia signifera.
I can't fucking do that one.
Once you told me that you thought that all frog calls could be mimicked.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they're all just about like
Yeah, it's all
the function
about-
of air through the gut, like through the glottis and the.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out.
No.
Clicky thing.
And on that note, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Ribbit.